Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to prepare nourishing soy milk out of soybean. First, you have to use your palms to create friction to peel the beans. In order to make it easier and faster, just pour the beans inside the water and use a sieve to remove the floatable substance like bad seed. And for the sinkable substance like stones, take the beans out of the water, leaving behind the stones, which can be removed by picking. Screen the beans for dead beans, pest-infected beans, other mixtures like maize, rice, etc. That way, you make the process of washing and sorting faster and less laborious. In order to make this process faster, you soak the beans for 10 hours so the bark comes off easily. Soy milk is a vegetarian milk which is made from soybean. It can be used as a substitute for animal milk. Considering the current global economic meltdown, the cost of animal milk is on the high side, and soy milk does not only benefit vegetarians, but it also helps us manage our resources and live healthy, as it is much more cheaper than milk and has a lot of nutritional value. In the country where I come from, a measure of soybean is about 1,400 grams and it costs over 600 Nigerian naira, which is over 84 cents. This quantity of soybean can make over 1.5 to 2 liters of soy milk. However, to purchase 157 mils of milk in Nigeria costs 420 Nigerian naira, and that milk is specifically cow milk. In this video, we're going to use two other major components because of their culinary, medicinal, and nutritional properties. Coconut contains omega-3 fatty acids. Dates contain 50% sugar, which make them excellent natural sweeteners and rich in mineral, vitamins, and fiber. It also contains antioxidants and improves brain health and natural labor. Soybean, on the other hand, are very high in protein and decent source of carbohydrate, fat, minerals, and vitamins. Regular soybean intake may alleviate symptoms of menopause, reduce risk of prostate and breast cancer. The next step is to wash the date palm thoroughly. As you can see, I'm under a tap. If you don't have a running water, you can improvise by putting water in the bowl. I'm going to wash the Debino thoroughly. Make sure you wash your Debinos thoroughly to remove all the dirt in it. As you can see, your Debino is nice and clean, and I'm rinsing it using the running water from the tap. I'm going to soak the dates for some hours, preferably 2 to 3 hours, so the dates can get soft. Next is the extraction of the coconut milk, but before that we have to wash it. Remember, the coconut was bought from the market, so it is necessary to wash it. To break the coconut open, you can use any wooden utensil in your kitchen, but make sure you wash it first. As you can see, I am pouring the coconut water, and this coconut water will be used to extract the coconut milk, which will later be added to the soy milk. This method is optional, but it can be used if you want to enjoy the full coconut goodness. Now, we are going to open the coconut and remove its flesh, and then wash the flesh. You have to wash all the materials you're using. As you can see, we are washing inside the coconut. You use a knife and carefully remove the flesh. If the beating of the coconut with a heavyweight object worked really well, You will notice it is easy to remove the flesh from the shell. So these are the coconut flesh. They are going to be ground separately because they are not going to be boiled with the soy milk. The next step is to wash the coconut flesh properly. As you can see, I'm slicing the coconut flesh into smaller bits. I'm doing this so it could fit right into my blender and blend to the perfect consistency. So this is what it looks like after being chopped. The next step is to blend the coconut. We are blending the coconut in order to extract the coconut milk out of the coconut. You can do this using your food processor or your blender. Also ensure that you put a moderate amount of water that will be enough to get your coconut well blended. Now we are to dispense the blended coconut into a plastic container and to store it in the freezer until when we need it. After soaking the dates for some hours, it will be easier to remove the pits because you are not going to blend the date flesh along with the pits. So you get a knife and cut the dates into two, removing the pit from the middle, as you can see. The dates can be grinded separately or together with the soybeans, but it's preferable to grind the dates separately and add it to the milk after the boiling and sieving of the soy milk. This will help to retain all the active principles in the dates. At this point, the grinding process is completed. At this point, the blended soybean is stirred and sieved with a cheesecloth or muslin cloth. That's the cheesecloth. So I'm going to pour the soy milk into the cheesecloth. That's the blended soy milk. I'm going to stir it and add a little water. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is to apply pressure by pressing my both hands in order to express the milk out of the muslin cloth. Also note that the amount of soy milk produced is dependent on the quantity of water added to the soy milk puree and the coconut milk while blending. So be careful not to add too much water. And you can see I'm applying the pressure, which is forcing the soy milk out of the muslin cloth, leaving the chaff inside. Now I'm applying much pressure than before to ensure that most of the soy milk is out of the muslin cloth and only the chaff remains. So this is the chaff from the soy milk. After removing the milk, sieve it one more time by carefully adding water to the chaff in order to express more milk. But be careful not to add too much water. Just giving it a stir before I put it back into the muslin cloth to extract the rest of the milk. The filtered soy milk has been transferred into a big pot and is ready for boiling. It is necessary to note at this point that when boiling soy milk, it foams a lot and therefore requires a large space for boiling. Another thing to note is constant stirring. You are advised to stir continuously until the milk ceases to foam. This could take up to 50 to 60 minutes before the soy milk is ready. It is beginning to foam, so this requires constant stirring or else it will boil over. After about 60 minutes of constant and rapid stirring, there are some things to note in order to know when the soy milk is ready. First, all the bubbles begin to disappear, and secondly, it begins to curdle at the top. You can see that. You can see it. So at this stage, the soy milk is done. Just stir for a little longer, about 2 minutes, and stir constantly so it doesn't burn. Set the milk aside and allow it to cool and then refilter. This is the coconut milk that we blended and stored in the freezer earlier. So we are going to filter this now using either a coriander sieve or a muslin or cheesecloth, but I'm using a coriander sieve. Then I'll use the spoon to press it because I can't use my hands to apply pressure. That's why I use the spoon to press it so I can extract the liquid without the chaff. It is then time to add the date palm puree if you blended it separately from the soybean puree. Then at this point, you sieve the date palm and the soy milk together if you didn't blend them together, and then stir gently. You continue this process with the rest of your soy milk. Now, as you can see, I am adding my sieved coconut milk. Make sure you sieve this. Your long-awaited soy milk is ready. If you like stuff like this, don't forget to share your ideas and tips in the comment section. Subscribe, share, and like my video. Thank you.